Ajwa is the most valuable dates we have. So can we now compare the locally produced stamp, like in African country, with that of date in exchange? Ajwa is the most valuable dates we have. So do we now compare the local dates, like in African country, with that agreement? Based on that interest, is it permissible for me to work with the bank?
Maybe this one is 20,000, why this one be 40,000? No problem. But if you want to exchange rice to rice, no effect. Do you get it now? That's why I made an example of Uncle Ben's. I think Uncle Ben's is the best rice. So whether Uncle Ben's or Nigerian rice is rice. So making exchange of Uncle Ben's with Nigerian rice should be of the same quantity, an instant exchange. But in terms of using money to get it, so we can use more money to get. Ajwa is a type of dates. There are more than 200 types of dates that we have. More than 200. In fact, some scholars will say more than 400 types. But all of them, they are what? Dates. Kind of Ajwa with the local one. So we follow the same principle. Ajwa date is a riba product, just like our locally made dates too. It's the same thing. So the same gram, the same quantity, the same quantity. One is Ajwa, one is non-Ajwa. It must be of the same quantity. Then if a Muslim should get an yaj'allahu makhraja. So if you have the pious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will provide
It relates to line exchange or transfers. I mean, want to exchange dollar for naira, pounds for this. How do we ensure that?
Sometimes there may be failure in network. Because if I transfer my own, even if you are in a bank, you are in a bank, I'm in a bank, and we transfer, there may be on my own part or on your own part. So that we create room for riba to come in. The instant exchange will not be fulfilled. And that is why most scholars will say no, it is not allowed. But if it is done without any network interruption, that is you are in the bank, I'm in the bank. Then we make the transaction once and for all. So that means I've sent to your bank. Your bank will maybe delay in giving you notification. That does not mean that I have not sent. So you ask your bank to collect on your. Do you get it now? So for you to have delayed alert or information, that does not affect the online transaction. So that is why some scholar or majority of scholars will say, those who agree to the online, I will be in the bank. I will send my own. So now I call you. So I've sent my own. No, go to the bank now. Go and send it now. No, that is a deliberate attempt to allow not hand to hand transaction. It's still the same thing. It is still the same thing. You know, so if it's truthful, we must be ready to send. Not that you will not have data. Aladi, don't worry, if I get alert, I'll go and get it, I'll now send it to you. No. Do you get it now? So we will send instantly. So if you make the instant transaction to my own bank, you send to my own bank, I send to your own bank. So I may have delay to see the alert. That does not mean that you've not sent to my agent. So our banks are the agent to us. Koye? And so if one is afraid, it's better for. If it's difficult, don't involve in that. to run away from a river.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My question goes to the business of Ijara and the Murabaha. Now, we cannot bind any agreement without any product that is being seen. But most of the people that they will ask you to go and make an invoice from any trusted vendor. You bring the invoice, then we can bind the agreement. Is this the breach that not bind any agreement before?
You are selling what you don't have, what you don't possess, what you cannot deliver at the point of sale. But if you stand to be an agent, you are an agent to the company, to the primary company, or you be a sole owner of that item, or you be an agent to the buyer. So one of the three chances can be taken. But if one is taking none of these three chances, then that person will be selling what he doesn't have. So if I stand to be an agent to a company that sells an item, that means the profits, my own commission or wages, I will collect it from that company that I work with. I won't collect it from the buyer. That is one. Then two, if I'm an agent to the buyer, I can only collect my commission from the buyer. He may ask me to look for this item for him in the market. So I will ask him, what will be my own wages, my own commission on that? If it's on my monthly salary or on daily basis or per service, he will pay me. That's one. Or I use my own money to get the item and to sell it to whoever that I want to sell it to with my own price. So these are the three chances that Sharia has given us as in order for us to work as an agent. But if you want to get money, you want to get paid from both sides, from both the seller, the company, and the buyer, you have to let them know that as you take from this, you also take from this. If they both know, no problem with that. So many people nowadays to sustain their lives. There's nothing wrong with that, but we have to be honest. We have to be honest. Let the buyer or the seller, not the owner of the product, you're not the one selling. Looking for the seller, and your wages can come in two ways. One, the seller may say that my item is 10,000 naira, but you can sell it choice if it is 15. Whichever amount you sell the item, you must give it back to the seller. If you sell it 50,000, you don't take 40. You give him 10. You give him everything, because without the person's notice, you now go out to make advert on that phone, on that items. Now say, Alaji, this is what we have now. Which man
And price the car, bring invoice for the bank. Then when the bank see it, they may decided to pay the money on my behalf. So do they have the
if he does not have interest to continue with the transaction? Now, bank will